Oh, you can fast travel to the garage. That's nice. I didn't realize that. It's like right under SSS. There we go. Basically all we need just to be able to rest with HP, EP, and CP. Yeah, 2 hours in stream. I don't know how long we're gonna stream. We're gonna see how long this these events go. At least another hour though, so we can move on to story. What is it? The Trade Conference's main session, Orchis Towers, where we have to go. Oh, I should have reported. It'll just auto-report. I think that's how it works, so it doesn't really matter. I could see the tower clearly from my seat last night before landing at the airport, and yet it appears even grander up close. That's exactly how we felt yesterday. Crossbill's really put itself on the map with this one. Yeah, but don't you think it's a little too big? I mean, what are they gonna use all those floors for? The old City Hall building's like a dollhouse compared to this, and it just did the job just fine. True, but the tower features more than just governmental facilities alone. In addition to housing the administrations of the city and state, there are floors dedicated to international trade and cultural exchange. You could say the aim was to make Orchis Tower the center of Western Zemuria itself. Dang, talk about shooting for the moon. It makes sense when you think about it. That's why they're hosting this trade conference at their first major event. Don't forget, the building's completion is going to lead to even more financial and information capital flowing into Crossbell. That'll be a handy bargaining chip when they're discussing new trade agreements, I imagine. Yes, from what I've heard. Though the potential benefits might not be limited to just economic gain. Anyway, what do you all want to do? We're scheduled to meet Dudley on the first floor at noon. Of course, but we still have some time before then. Alright, how about we take care of any unfinished business and prep work in the meantime? We don't want to be in a bind if it hits the fan this afternoon. In a bind! I love Tales of Her Eyes. Good point, it's not like we'll be able to leave once the conference is underway. Very well, let's make sure to tie up any loose ends before we enter. Loose ends have been tied. Also, let's put Lloyd back in. And Noelle. We can have Ellie sit out for a bit. She's been doing great work. We're scheduled to meet with Dudley. We still have a bit of time. Unable to buy new equipment, items, or orbments. Yeah. I was gonna decide if I wanted to buy items, but I think we're fine. Or like equipment. Get a load of this place. It's like high-tech meets fantasy life. Fantasy life, words. This feels even more futuristic than the IBC building. Every floor is wired up to the orbital network as well. There's also a direct line to the IBC for instant updates on stock market prices. I heard about that. Uncle Dieter insisted on it. A true economist to the end. A true economist to the end. He is banking on the brain, even as a statesman. Well, all we can do is wait for Dudley to come pick us up. The conference isn't open to the general public, so why don't we have a seat over there? The same day, 12 p.m. There you are. Hello, Dudley. We're ready for our assignment. It's noon sharp. Trade conference begins at 1 p.m. As for the dignitaries, they'll be here in around 30 minutes time. Got it. Or should we make our way for now in that case? I would have preferred to familiarize you with the venue myself, but there's been a change of plans. I came to let you know that someone else will be showing you around. Someone else, meaning... Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming today. Oh, Dieter Croy. Mayor Croy. Uncle? Ellie, Lloyd, how long has it been? A few weeks or so? Hello to you too, Wazzy and Noelle. Ah, it's been far longer since I've seen you, Randy Tio. Welcome back. Haha, appreciate it. Good to see you again. Yes, it is, but what are you doing here? The conference starts in less than an hour. Is it really okay for you to take the time to greet us? Nonsense, the preparations are just about finished. We're simply waiting for the dignitaries to arrive in the meantime. I thought showing you around the building would make for a good break of sorts. I trust this is alright with you, Dudley? As you say, Mayor. See to it that you don't do anything to embarrass yourselves in front of them. Once you're done, come to the security command room on the 34th floor. Understood. They're all yours, Mr. Mayor. I'll see the rest of you soon. You have my gratitude. He's a talented detective, but a little inflexible, isn't he? Oh, perhaps it's that particular quality that makes him so good at his work. The First Division does have a reputation for doing things by the book, after all. Ah, where are my manners? I forgot the most essential of all tour procedures. Ladies and gentlemen of the SSS, welcome to Orchis Tower. Follow me if you would. Same as ever. Yes, and the apple we call Maribel didn't fall far from his tree. Maybe, but it's nice of him to show us around personally before the conference. It sure is. Let's take him up on his offer. Here we go. There are 3 elevators. Now you're just showing off. Well, the building is 40 stories tall, and just for the record, there are actually 6 elevators if you count the ones reserved for private use. That's impressive. Keep in mind that we don't have time today to visit every floor. Sadly, we'll have to limit ourselves to those related to the conference. Now, without further ado, let's begin with the 34th floor, where the security command room is stationed. After you. I see. I heard the same from Dudley. It's quite a tricky situation we find ourselves in. Yeah, the Jaegers and Highway are cause for concern, not to mention whatever it is the Imperial and Republican governments are up to. On top of that, there are terrorists aiming to take the lives of 2 heads of state. That isn't even including yesterday's mystery hacker. Would I be right in assuming that the stolen blueprints originate from one of your processing units? Regrettably, yes, it would appear a sub-terminal at Orchis Towers was hacked into. After the IBC was hacked months ago, I had our systems department boost their anti-hacking countermeasures. But clearly it wasn't enough. When you think about it though, hacking isn't exactly the most commonplace skill. Yep, the most logical culprit would have to be someone with ties to the Epstein Foundation. Chief Roberts is currently looking into that possibility, though my intuition tells me that that isn't the case this time. No matter, all we can do is wait for the results of his investigation. A Jaeger Corps' crime syndicate, the looming threat of terrorists, there's plenty to worry about already. What's most troublesome, however, are the motives of a number of our esteemed dignitaries. In other words, what some of the leaders are hoping to gain from the conference. Saying you're suspicious of the people you yourself invited? I have no misgivings about Princess Claudia or Prince Oliver, mind you, and the Grand Prince of Romaferia has given me no reason to doubt him either. Chancellor Osborne and President Rocksmith, however, are another matter entirely. The leaders of the 2 major powers. They have the most to gain from controlling Crossbow's future. Have they tipped their hands on that front already? Quite the opposite, actually. We've already sent preliminary proposals for various treaties and accords to each country ahead of the conference. Both sides have reacted suspiciously favorably toward everything we've suggested thus far. The way they're behaving, you would think those 2 were all equitable growth in Western Zemeria. That seems unlikely, to say the least. The Empire and the Republic tend to clash over even the smallest issues. Correct, these sudden shifts in disposition make me all the more uncertain about how this conference might unfold. I've already prepared for the worst case scenario, mentally speaking. That seems wise. So on top of all the immediate danger, we're stuck in a political trap too. Times like this are when I'm glad to have Speaker McDowell to lean on. If we play our cards right, we should also have the support of Liberal and Romaferia during these negotiations. Come what may, my heart is steeled. The only thing more I can do is pray that Adios is in our corner as well. Uncle. Hard to believe you have even more on your plate today than I realized. I'm sorry to take up much of your time at the store. Don't mention it. On the contrary, I relish the opportunity for a nice change of pace. That's why I insisted I'd be the one to show you all around. Well, when you put it that way, it will be an honor, Mr. Mayor. Heck yeah, we're down if you are. That's what I like to hear. Ah, perfect timing. We've arrived. That was the longest elevator ride in my life. 34th floor, event staff floor. Incredible. You were so tall. So high up. It's absolutely amazing. Boy, is it. Get a load of that view. I'm glad you all find it as satisfying as I do. This is the 34th floor where much of the staff will be on standby during the trade conference. Are you ready to have a look around? Lead the way, Mr. Mayor. Here we have the security command room, and there's the press room just next door. There will be a company of guardsmen from the CGF on the floor below in the event of any terrorist infiltration. Right, I remember being briefed about that. I bet they're gonna send the best CGF has to offer. I suppose the press room is where Grace will be spending all of her time. You mean that reporter from Crossbow Times? That's right, I believe I saw her name on the list, so we can expect she'll be attending. Bear in mind that the press aren't permitted to leave this floor with the exception of the press conference or any scheduled interviews. Sounds reasonable enough. It's necessary. Sometimes reporters can get a little pushy for a surprise Q&A session, enough to slip past the security even. Grace likely accounts for most of those instances, if not all of them. I can already picture us dragging her away from somewhere she's not supposed to be. Oh, Graceland. Allow me to take the opportunity to show you into this room. Well now, this is more my kind of place. Looks like a break room, but it's so spacious. Precisely, this is the lounge I had prepared for the conference. Feel free to use it for yourselves during your downtime. Thank you, we'll be sure to. We can always stop by for tea later. Let's head to the next floor, shall we? Is this an emergency stairwell? Looks like the way going down is sealed off, though. Normally you'd be able to use these stairs to descend all the way to the first floor. However, we've sealed them off in preparation for the conference. Only the stairs between floors 34, 35, and 36 will be open. In other words, it's a security measure. What do people do in case of an emergency, say if an earthquake occurs? Should such an event come to pass, the gates to the stairwell will automatically open. Which just goes to show that no security plan is foolproof, now not when we have to account for the unexpected. True, we'll do our part to cover any possible gaps. Devising anti-hacking protocols will be a necessity, it seems. Since we're here, why don't we take the stairs? Next stop, 35th floor, home to the International Conference Room. Oh, look at those flags. Is this it? Or banners, not flags. Banners is more accurate. That's right, before you is the stage upon which world leaders will pursue the elusive dream that is diplomacy. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the International Conference Room. It's incredible. Are these like the banners of all the countries? I've never seen anything like it. Or countries, like continents of Zemeria? Regions, whatever. You must have had to take a chunk out of the next floor up with how this ceiling is. As it so happens, 36th floor was designed in the shape of a U, so as to accommodate the conference room. The antechambers to either side will house the staff of each respective dignitary. The personal security details will be on standby there as well. Oh, that's smart. Well, they all have to go somewhere, don't they? Let's move to the final floor of our tour, shall we? VIP floor. Rooms prepared on this floor will be provided to the dignitaries participating in the conference. Allow me to show you around. After you. Check this place out. Talk about swanky. If you gave me a room like this, I don't think I'd want to leave it. This one will serve as a waiting lounge for Prince Oliver. There are rooms in the West Wing as well, one assigned for each visiting participant. They also double as spaces to cool one's head should things get too heated during the conference. That makes sense. Are these rooms fitted with orbital cables as well? That's right, we requested that the wiring be inconspicuously installed. Now then, why don't we put the other rooms aside for now? You see, there's one final place I'd like to show you. Good afternoon, Mayor Croy. Good to see you today, sir. At ease, gentlemen. In these windows, you will be able to command a full view of the conference as it progresses. There are curtains to make things private should a confidential meeting take place, but they'll open on this occasion. Good to know. This way we can get a quick glance at how the conference is going while we're on patrol. That's right, if anything were to happen, we could rush in as soon as we saw it. We should make this a routine stop on our route then. With that, you've now seen all 3 floors that will be part of your security rounds. However, if you would allow me, there is one more place I've been saving for last. I mean, this wasn't it. So where are we going? Isn't it obvious? The spot with the best view of all. Gift that keeps on giving, apparently. Look at that, it's breathtaking. Oh, this is nice. Wow, words don't do it justice. Yeah, you're telling me, dude. Not in the least. The rest of the city looks like a miniature model from this far up. Dang, makes me wish this whole get-together was after dark, but the view at night's insane. This little area will eventually become an observation deck for the public. It would be a terrible waste after all to restrict something so marvelous to government officials only. I'm sure people will love it. I can't wait for us to take Kia here too. Oh, pardon me. Roy here. Is that so? Understood, I'll be right there. I just received word that the dignitaries have arrived at the tower. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll have to take my leave here. Not at all, thank you for showing us around. We appreciate it. Appreciate it. Boy, did we. That was something else. It was the tour of a lifetime. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and thank you as well for giving me the change of pace I needed. I'll be seeing you all. Good luck with your security duties, and remember, give it everything you've got. I won't let you down. It's the least I could do to pay you back for that letter of recommendation. Idios be with you. I'll be praying for your success at the conference. As will I. Alright, let's make our way back to Dudley. He should be in the security command room on the 34th floor by now. Now the real work begins. Here's hoping this goes smoothly. Yeah, fingers crossed. Same day, 1 p.m. Let's hereby call to order the main session of the West Zemuria Trade Conference. Oh, Arios. Osborne, Oliver, Chloe. Rocksmith or whatever. Peter Croy, I don't know that yellow-haired guy. And Speaker McDowell, Ellie's grandfather. I, Henry McDowell, shall have the honor of officiating the proceedings. The conference is scheduled to run for approximately 5 hours, during which there will be 1 intermission period. However, depending on how deliberations are progressing, a limited extension may be granted. I would now like to introduce you to two observers that will be joining us for the conference. Oh, this is Grimwood? Yeah, Grimwood. Lawyer Ian Grimwood. He is a legal expert who is active not only in Crosswell but our surrounding nations as well. I requested that he attend today's conference due to his familiarity with both common and international law. It's a pleasure to be here, everyone. I'm Ian Grimwood, at your service. Ah, so this must be Crosswell's famous Grizzly Grim. Yes, I've heard of you as well. They say you're primarily concerned with issues regarding civil rights. It's an honor to meet you. You flatter me. I hope my expertise proves useful to everyone today. Next, brace your Arios MacLean. You may recognize the name from his many outstanding achievements in our neighboring countries. I requested that he too attend as a neutral observer on behalf of the Bracer Guild to further ensure our safety here today. That's correct. I'm Arios MacLane. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. So this is the Divine Blade of Wind. The speaker assumes right. Your reputation greatly precedes you, even though we're in the Republic. Tales of your deeds reach the Imperial capital as well. People often speak of Crossbow's Divine Blade, a man swathed in windborne might. I'm honored. Without further ado, we'll begin by going over each proposal on today's docket. Mayor Dita Croy will be our first proponent. The floor is yours, Mayor Croy. Thank you. I'm gonna have to read a lot here, huh? Now, if you would all direct your attention to bill number 1 in your provided materials. Okay, good.